Alrighty, so gonna take a quick look at my Packers schedule. I actually haven't really looked at it in depth. I know week one, like I mentioned with the Saints, that one. Okay, I know I just mentioned Saints don't start off great, but still really worried about that one. Superdome. It's been probably there'll probably be a full capacity for the first time in almost 2 years. That place is gonna be rocking. Uh, Kind of benefits the Saints too because Green Bay's not gonna know what to expect. Are we expecting Taysom Hill? Are we expecting Jameis Winston? Are we expecting a little bit of both? So it'll be hard. And on top of that, we're transitioning to the Seattle defense. Uh, and hopefully we're not just running that defense the entire time. So we'll see. I have much a lot of skepticism in regards to that. But regardless, schedule wise, and then the Lions week two. Not I am worried about that one too, just because you never know. Dan Campbell and them, they may just, especially early in the year, a team that's just playing with house money, and then at San Francisco. And once again, this is all. I'm still worried about this even if we have Aaron Rodgers. Gosh, if we don't have Aaron Rodgers, this is just not good. At San Francisco on a Sunday night game, and then we go to Pittsburgh. Oh, so, yeah, sorry, we go home, but we play Pittsburgh Steelers week 4. That'll be a fun matchup. Chase versus Jair, per se. Unless Chase,
Unless the Steelers suck, I'm not super high on their chances this year. We'll see.
I mean, the defense will still be solid, and yeah, but we'll see. Bengals, I'm not too worried about the Bengals. Bears, not too worried about the Bears. But yeah, then we play Washington football team. That'll be a tough one. And the one I would, once again, if Aaron Rodgers was playing, um, I probably would have gotten tickets to this game with my parents, who are Chief fans. But the Chief game week 9, that has potential to be a great game. I mean,
Oh
we,
yeah.
we almost had it a couple of years ago, but Mahomes has you don't win Super Bowl, but Mahomes hurt his knee like literally the week before, a week or two before, didn't get that. Really hope we get it this time, because once again, seeing these two guys, both you could say probably playing. Rodgers wouldn't say in his prime, but playing close to his prime, talent
I mean,
wise.
he's coming off an MVP year.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously Mahomes, we know he's the real deal in his prime as well. It is a tough stretch because we have Seattle, we have Chiefs, and then the Seahawks, who are never an easy out with Russell Wilson and Metcalf and them. And then we go to Minnesota, like I just mentioned, improved offensive line, year 2 of Justin Jefferson, another year that Mike Zimmer gets to play with that defense, and then we get the LA Rams. So yeah, that'll be tough, a stretch for us. And then I'm glad we have a week 13 bye, which I want to talk about that a little bit later. But other than that, and then once again another 3 week stretch, starting week 15, going to Baltimore. Like I said, I'm worried about our run defense. Really going to be tested week 15 if everyone's healthy, obviously, against Baltimore, at Baltimore. And then once again, the Browns on Christmas. Oh, another good run team, a good offensive line. Yeah, and then obviously Minnesota. So our D line's got to have a big 3 weeks, those 3 weeks. But other than that, then we end the year against Detroit. Other than that, I mean, it just depends on if Rodgers plays or not. Because Rodgers plays, I'm pretty confident we can still make the playoffs. If not, we are not making the playoffs. I'll say that now. So,
Yeah.
but I forgot to ask, when was your bye week? If not, I can look it up. So I'm just curious.
I don't actually know when the Cowboys bye
I'll pull
week
it up,
is.
but you can go ahead.
Um, yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm so Washington
Week
or not
7.
Washington, Green Bay. Okay, week 7. I kind of like later bye weeks personally because
I want to talk about that in a second, but go ahead.
yeah, we'll talk about the bye weeks in a little bit. But I'm surprised. So the strength of schedule thing, according to the Vegas, win predictions, Packers are 14th, which is about middle of the league. I'm surprised because I feel like this schedule is honestly pretty tough. I mean, obviously, you got your divisional opponents in the NFC North. It's the Packers division. Assuming Aaron Rodgers is still there, it's going to be the Packers division. Matthew Stafford's gone. We don't know who the quarterback is in Chicago, and even then, we don't know like what they're going to look like. And so it's really between you guys and the Vikings probably. The Bears will still probably be in the around that spot because of their defense. But even then, like they lost Kyle Fuller, so who knows how their corners are going to look. And
Yeah.
so there's just question marks about all the other teams for the Packers. If Aaron Rodgers is there, there's no question marks. But I mean that stretch where you play Washington, we know how good their defense is. Anything can happen in Washington, really. I mean, we also depending on how the quarterback situation works out for them. I mean, they have talented receivers. They have Antonio Gibson, so you just can't count Washington out at all. Then the Cardinals, once again,
Short week
the
too.
only thing holding them back, the only thing holding the Cardinals back after 4 days to me is Cliff Kingsbury. So you never know with them because they have all the talent really. They have J.J. Watt, they have Chandler Jones, Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, the whole crew. But we just got to see if they can put together all that talent into an actual good product. And then, like you said, the Chiefs, the Seahawks, the Vikings, the Rams, like that's a tough stretch. You get the Bears again after that bye week, which I think that's pretty solid 2 weeks right there because we know how Aaron Rodgers does against the Bears. Like he's going to be fine, assuming he's playing still. But then the Ravens and the Browns, that's a tough stretch of games right there. That any of those teams could be really solid this year. So yeah, we'll see. The interesting part to me too is that Chiefs Packers matchup. Assuming Aaron Rodgers is still the quarterback this year, it looks like all signs are pointing to if he is this year, then he's probably not next year. And we know that the Broncos are a team that kind of want Rodgers. They're in the Chiefs division. Maybe they move on from Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater after this year. Rodgers becomes a quarterback, and that's a glimpse into the Rodgers Mahomes duels that we could see in the future. I don't know.
Yeah, so let's see how it goes there. Obviously, there are a few other more notable games from other teams. Tom Brady goes back to Foxborough week 4. That I've already seen the tickets for that game are really expensive,
Yeah.
and I imagine that'll be a good game. Probably a bunch of other ones are missing, and once again, it's hard to anticipate because all the time games get flexed in and out because oh my gosh, this team is not as good as we expected them to be, or they had an injury and that's why they suck, or this team always is good for some reason even though we didn't expect them to be. So, um, yeah, that's important to factor in. But I just wanted to, maybe this will be the last point, but yeah, and